Your bottom tower is under attack! Axe has seen ruins that look better than your bottom tower! Battle Fury!
Here I come! The ice was right! Assassin! I'll not argue. On!
Your middle tower is under attack!
Into the breach! Indeed. Again, we ride. Let's go. Yes.
Your top tower is under attack! Puny Radiant hides behind their fortifications! Your top tower is under attack! The enemy's bottom barracks have fallen! Killing spree! Axes, please!
Swiftly. Here I come!
Even I like a good ball.
Double damage.
The enemy's top tower has fallen! That was Axe-tacular!
To battle! Frost right! Yes!
The enemy's top tower has fallen! Surprising, given the lack of axe!
I thought as much.
The enemy's top barracks have fallen! The enemy's top barracks have been abolished! Unstoppable! Axe is pleased!
This'll come in handy. Agreed.
The enemy's middle tower has surrendered to gravity!
Forward. I move. My ice spike.
Killing spree! Axe is pleased!
On. Yes.
Wicked sick! Axe is pleased! Dominating!
Stop this man!
The enemy's middle tower has fallen! The enemy's middle barracks make a nice pile of rubble. The enemy's middle barracks have fallen. You now is pleased! God's wrath!
Here I come. I'll not argue. You're dead. And that's a cold, hard
There is nothing that can stop this man! There is
The
nothing
enemy's
that can
middle
stop
tower
this
has
man!
fallen!
I take you.
Wicked Sin! Mega kill! Axe is pleased! To the radiant the spoil! Say, does Axe get a cut? Attack!
Thanks.
Double damage! Radiant's bottom tower is under attack! Radiant structures are fortified! Time to punch! War has come to Radiant's bottom tower! Radiant's bottom tower has fallen!
Strange time to hibernate.
Killing spree!
For heresies unknown, temporal deep.
Dire team pick.
very well, Keeper Alive.
He did actually, because normally we only saw 9. Okay, there goes the bird. We saw 9 play mid, but yeah, we saw we all played mid. Waga, it worked out great. So yeah, on the ban side.
Yeah, I mean, we has definitely the same type of creative player who can do stuff, right? Like 9 is kind of the one who brought Caudle into the popularity recently, and then he did it again. But yeah, we see DP slipping through the first phase of ban. This hero, of course, being like the most contested, she is so strong.
Oh yeah, it's mainly because of the Storm ban in first phase. That's a pretty interesting one. Like, if you quickly double check, Goonsquad games, of course, their nice openings have been first pick Tiny into Storm Spirit, in recent times. So
Yeah, they banned both of them.
yeah, it's literally just like quickly check their draft, go for that. And also you have to give massive props to Goonsquad, of course. Why they have been looking so well is because I think they individually, all these players have just stepped up. Like Aqua on the carry, Charlie, limp mid. Their games just look super consistent for individual performance. Might have some moments maybe in the open qualifiers they're a little bit shaky, but that's when they first formed. But they are very quickly ironing out those issues and looking very solid.
Yeah, I think they're a fun team to follow because there's still a lot of gains to be made as a team for them. They are incredibly individually talented, but they seem to come together quite a lot already. Like they play very well together, and that's why I like to see this opening from them. The DK and Grimstroke are very dependent on team play and execution, so it's a nice opening. However, I'm a bit concerned about DK into DB. Like the Drain Spirit Siphon is very good against tanky heroes. All your armor is not going to help you that much. It does protect you against the Ghost though.
I think just the pace of the game that we've seen from DK might allow you to offset that, because if it's a DP5, for example, the high-paced game can deal with it. Of course, if it's a mid DP, they're probably going to dismantle you. But like, you've seen the value of this shard. There's some blink stun into this fireball doing like 90 damage per second. Like it can be pretty strong if you're in the lead and setting the tempo.
Yeah, it's definitely the shard for Dragon Knight is one of the best shards to get at 15 because of the AoE and the damage of it.
So dumb.
It's like adding a nice little macro pyre, right? But even better because it's a big AoE circle, which usually is easier to get value from in a team fight than macro pyre.
It's Radiance, but 1,400 gold.
T, you have got a thing in front of you. How is the win rate for Grimstroke? Because I've constantly heard that it's not doing too well. Now, I do know that Goonsquad actually did win with a DK Grimstroke earlier this tour, and on top of that, I do know also the combination is very popular in especially the Chinese region.
So it has a 33% win rate in 3 games. Liquid lost with it twice, and Gaming Gladiators won with it once.
I mean,
that's it,
if
Division
Gaming
1
Gladiators won with it, right?
Has to be broke, yeah.
Has to be broken. And if Liquid lost with it, that's Liquid's fault.
Steer clear, boys. But no, jokes aside though, Grimstroke naturally in drafts, when your support already has the wave clear, it's like why we're seeing Keeper Light somewhat have a resurgence, of course, because of other things about Chakra, but you put your support with the wave clear, it opens up for your other heroes to be more skirmishing, more in the fight, because the pace that you can set, you're allowing your core to be the one looking for the kill, your support's kind of on the side TPing in, and it's like that style of play from DK, they complement each other so well. Soulbind, double stun,
I want to bring it to Soulbind though, because Soulbind I feel is one of the few good tools you can have as a support to lock down Death Prophet. It's a way to actually hold her in place and stop her from just running people over, because DP has that effect. She just runs in and there's nothing that can, stop her menace through the team fight. And Soulbind is honestly one of the best tools.
Yeah, like you see from this opening of an alliance, like Symmetrical, when he played on Into the Breach, the UK team, this would be one of their openings they're doing. Maybe not the Clockwork specifically, but DP +1, because he would like playing it in the offlane role. And I'm sure, Weehaw will happily play it mid, and also, Stamana might play it 5, maybe not, but I think this is very much just a comfortable flex between offlane mid.
Would you agree with me if I said that DP can be played in every position in this patch?
Enchantress.
Like even player +1 to 5.
Yeah, I'd agree. Just because there are some heroes in the game where if they have timings that are very obvious, if you can get there quicker, Natural will be good, right? Like, same with Furion, for example. Like, you can technically play 1 to 5 on Furion because I guess what we're agreeing here is if your hero can push,
if it gets the tempo, then you can play it +1 as an acceleration style. But there we see Enchantress being picked up as well. A hero that honestly does so much damage. We've seen a lot of games recently where Enchus just be ignored, and if she's allowed to throw out those impetus, she brings people down really quickly.
Ooh, yeah. The thing with Enchantress is it's that beautiful balance between you can go for... I know some players are trying to do the drum build. I'm kind of mixed on that, but like you go for Locket, a Glimmer, you get super tanky. You put yourself up in these high ground positions, and it allows your Grimstroke or your DK to get that perfect initiation to unlock the fight. So yeah, I think Enchantress, you either pump up the damage, like Wagger said, or you're this unkillable tank with just the change up of one item. And we get to see the return of CM.
Yeah, when she was played last week, well, I think it was Monday, maybe even. It was, I'm not entirely sure, but it was Alliance versus Ivy. Alliance picked CM, and the game was over pre-20 minutes, pre-19 minutes.
The Marnin, I think, had the most assists in maybe Div 2 DPC, or maybe it was both combined. I can't remember the stat, but he had the most assists to like minute 15 or something on the CM.
It's at such a high tempo.
The hero is kind of lost in regards to popularity from pros because you have to win your lane and you have to kind of enable the early game because the hero does become redundant later on unless you get, you know, a Force, Glimmer, natural stuff.
I think the idea that they have here on Alliance is the correct idea of how to utilize a Crystal Maiden though, because of her recent change to Aura that she now gives mana when casting spells to teammates. It's very good for 5-man lineups or lineups that want to run together early. DP, the type of hero that does that. So they're playing into the strength of Death Prophet by picking the CM Jug, who also adds the healing ward. Suddenly you can set a brutal tempo.
Yeah, this just feels like it's going to be, you know, CM Jug, strong lane. DP plus Clockwork, again, strong lane. Like, there's a lot of synergies in the side lanes to allow Weehaw to pick what hero he wants last to give himself the entry to the fight.
Goon Squad going with the Ember. Pretty telegraphed. Whenever we see Grimstroke, Ember is always on the player's mind. We see it very often picked up, and we are going to see it in this game. Works really well. You put Inkswell with a Flame Guard, and you just go in.
It's also punishing Alliance quite heavily. Okay, if we can count the stuns, guys, we might need to use more than just one finger, I think it is. It's hook shot. Technically the bounce back from Cogs.
Come on, man. They bounce back. Frostbite can maybe lock down.
Oh, roots are a whole touchy subject, all right? Like, but no, this is just Goon Squad looking at the heroes. It isn't a great, beautiful death ball from Alliance where if they win their lanes, if they play together, it's going to be very cohesive. Of course, they scale. Like, they don't have timing issues. It's just if they're looking at the full-on team fight, Goon Squad get to dictate most of them if it's not Alliance hitting a tower because they're going to be poking with the Ench, poking with the Ember, not really getting punished, and then deciding when they want to initiate.
Are you thinking that this is a locked into the mid lane role Ember, or do you think it's going to be a carry Ember possibly?
And then if it is a carry Ember, there's a chance that Limp's going to play the DK as well, so there's a lot of flex potential with that.
Yeah.
I think I'd like to see it in the mid, just because it's most likely Ember DK offlane, so then oh my god,
Ember DK offlane. All right, he's back on the panel.
That was a Herald pub review. Sorry, Jenkins is infectious. No, if Grim DK playing offlane, I'd like Grim to be able to connect to help the Ember mid. And if you put the Ember safe lane, it might be too far away to get the early game connections helping each other.
Sure.
It also depends on the picks coming up, right? You have that flex for sure.
What I was leading to sort of is that I think Ember can be played mid blindly into almost any hero in this patch. He's just so strong. There are certain matchups that are going to be tougher, but usually those come with drawbacks. Like even Ember against Monkey King is very playable now. But yeah, banning out the Batrider.
Yeah, I feel like I would agree with you that this is just the mid, because also, you know, thinking about Aqua, Charlie, I'm not putting Ember up there. Like, maybe if it was Kotal Ember, he'd probably take it. But without that, I kind of feel like he'd rather want a different hero, like a late pick Terrorblade or something. Just a classic Charlie I'll play behind you for fighting for me. I'll win you the game once we survive the death ball. That's kind of his MO for most of the success of his career so far.
He's a very good player at getting item progression and just staying, you know, farming. also a bit of an emotional player at times. So if he gets targeted a lot, you know, it can.
Tilts out of control.
This is true.
I mean, I'm not saying still out of control, but he is. You know, some players are very calm and don't show a lot of emotions. When I played with him, he's been more vocal.
Yeah, yes, and also he tweets sometimes about the players he doesn't like playing with in pubs.
There we go. I haven't seen.
Who does he tweet about? Name
Have you
his
got one
name.
of those?
No, not yet. No, he actually. I'm working on it. No, he banged out a cheeky little tweet about the Chillax carry the other day. I won't go into detail. You can do that yourself at Dota. But yeah,
So that's a Kunkka. We saw Alliance also we have played Kunkka in the same game that we just mentioned, the pre-19 minute victory.
This is nice because what we mentioned about the stuns and stuff, Kunkka is the go-to classic hero when your draft needs a little bit of, you know, glue to bring it together, controlling where you take the fights, how you approach them. He's there. And also king of, you know, being tanky with the run buff on the boat. You should be able to survive this damage.
Yeah, a good 5-manner as well.
Yep.
And he lanes well against Ember, so he kind of ticks all the boxes there, because if he is against the Ember mid, the Flame Guard does not protect you against the Tidebringer, so...
Limp looked ready, though. He saw his opponent, he's like, all right, you know, let's go. He was rubbing his hands, and yeah.
I feel like Razor carry here would be... I'm trying to check if it's banned. It's not. Like, a Razor carry here would be pretty devastating. Like, an early BKB buyer to be able to get into the middle of the fight, brush off, like, the X, just...
Maybe. The only downside I see is that you're not really having the stronger late game, and you're kind of just holding, because you're still going to face up against like a Juggernaut in the later stages. It might be what they need to survive though, and just hold on. But I would like something more hard carry still that also can survive.
Of course, the Terrorblade. We mentioned it in the second phase, but yeah, good old Charlie with the last pick. He's like, all right, is it Morphling? Is it Anti-Mage, or is it Terrorblade?
It is a Charlie hero. It is.
It is.
He plays really well on Illusion heroes in general. His farming is very efficient.
But draft-wise, from these two teams, I feel like this puts more emphasis on Alliance, because this is the lineup where they're going to have to show what they've been working on in the scrims, right? How they win their lanes with the heroes that should be able to do that, how they then sync up together with the like Alliance 2019, they were like the best team in Europe, at least, at crushing lanes, collapsing mid, taking down the tower. Minute 10, your map's super small, farms everywhere. This is kind of what they need to do with this lineup, because this Terrorblade, if you patiently farm behind, you don't really get shut down, jungle's not closed off, it's the Manta, it's the Skadi, it's a Butterfly, you're probably going to 1v9 at the later portion.
I'm a bit concerned if I was in Goon Squad here, honestly, though. Looking at just matchup-wise the heroes, I feel like it's the tougher one to play out. And even if you go late, there are now control abilities against the illusions from Terrorblade. There's the Kunkka who could add an Aghanims in the later stages, and that just devastates illusions, with the Shard on Kunkka as well. You're suddenly not outputting the DPS you're expecting from a TB, and their lineup doesn't really have much team fight. It's hardly any 5-man team fights. So
No pressure on Goon Squad for this game.
I'd say so.
I mean, there's also a lot of pressure on Alliance just because they're playing up against X-Alliance. So if they lose to X-Alliance in their Alliance...
specifically for this draft.
No need for draft now, Shiva. The game does the talking. The emotion, the players.
Why am I? Go for it.
We have Alliance versus Goon Squad with literally the best casting duo in the world. It is me and... no, joking. It's Owen and Fox, guys. It's Owen and Fox.
Very nice, T. Thank you very much, T. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to game one of Alliance versus Goon Squad. Fog, can't wait to see what happens here between these two teams. We've got the drafts.
Yes, we do.
You can't help but sort of feel that Goon Squad are going to be pretty comfortable with their last pick, right? Because they've managed to get their carry player, Aqua, pretty much his best hero, right?
Yeah.
He's picked the Terrorblade. They've gone for the Terrorblade. The question is, do you think Alliance care? Because Alliance, they would have almost certainly known that this was a hero that would be coming up.
I think with the way they've drafted themselves, they're looking to play a pretty quick game, right? You've got this Jug, this DP Kunkka, this group up that's going to be very strong about just putting pressure on, taking towers, getting map control early on, where Terrorblade can suffer. But on the same flip side, you know, Goon Squad, they do have a good way to fight back with the Grimstroke, the DK, the Ember. Definitely a strong trio in the early game with that Enchantress to be able to battle back. So, I mean, all things aside, doesn't matter what heroes there are, anything like, you know, just what T was saying. We got Goon Squad, we got Alliance, and I'm looking at mid matchup. It's Limp versus Weehaw. This is a premiere. We got these godly tier 1 players in the mid lane versus each other. Super excited to see how it's going to play out, because Ember versus Kunkka too. a slight edge probably to the Kunkka, but I think Ember can do really well in like all these
30
matchups
seconds
anyway,
to
and it's a
battle.
lot of just, you know, that skill matchup that we do end up seeing. So I mean, I'm gonna be all eyes on mid lane, really. What are your hotkeys here? Give me some. There we go. Some last F for last hits. Thanks, Owen.
I don't use hotkeys.
Oh, what the hell's?
Sorry, he's using up my PC, boys and girls.
I missed the lobby. It happens.
There we go.
Are they doing it? So they're starting aggro?
Yeah, he's starting bottom here for Alliance.
Because that's what we've seen a couple times with these, with the Crystal Maidens, just to put pressure at the start.
Yeah.
Let's see how it is. So we have.
I mean, I think that's
start at top.
I think this is the way to do it. I think, you know, if you're Alliance, you're looking at the fact that Aqua's on Terrorblade. You want to mess with the Terrorblade as soon as possible.
These teams know each other. Obviously, from what we're all saying from all these iterations that they've played together. So the ward's already down. They're expecting this type of aggro play. Look at Charlie. Look at that, see.
No, he sticks to the lane, yeah, but he doesn't want to get caught out walking over.
He'll die behind the lane if he does walk over.
Yeah, Stamanen was ready to go.
Yep. Let's see how it plays out. So immediately they're going to swap. They don't get the first blood. And we're going to have that CM Jug lane versus Grimstroke DK.
All right.
Pretty battle intense. Lots of trading back and forths. Got to make sure they secure those range creeps on the side of Alliance, because just have to watch out versus DK. When he went Breathe Fire first, I guess he really wanted to try to secure that range creep, which he did get. But that does mean you don't have stun level 1 to prevent the last hits of a hero like Juggernaut that we've seen a lot of times.
Which support's having more fun up here, do you think, Stamanen or Hanskin?
I think they're both having quite a bit of fun.
You trade pretty evenly with these two?
Yeah, I guess Stamanen would have a little bit more fun because you have kill threat constantly on either Hanskin and S4 if they make like one mistake step.
Yep.
So as we've seen these CMs, you know, you get both of your spells at 1 and 2, and you just have plenty of mangoes to spam out. I'd say Stamanen has a little bit more fun as the support.
Yeah, we saw the other day Stamanen on the CM. He was having a great time.
He was unstoppable, right? He was like 6-0 or something.
He was killing people. I mean, you see this man, you know, he picks up all the mangoes and he just goes spam, spam, spam. And it's...
Want to say
yeah, let's put the 4-0. Yeah, this is a hot start.
A little bit of a mess up by Weehaw. I think he torrented trying to just harass Limp, and it caught range creep, so put it in deny range, and he had Tidebringer down. Limp got a really nice deny, and now he's got with Flame Guard too. That's an excellent start for Limp.
No gold.
All right, look at the start of the lanes. Everyone getting their solid farm.
Got me in top lane. That's going to be a first blood. Ladies and gentlemen, there's the setup. Stamanen, he made the call. He said, Nico, baby, we're going in for the kill. And of course, Nico, baby, no hesitation. Chase up with the Blade Fury and get that first blood for himself.
Bottom, decent amount of harassment onto Aqua. But he's got Stick, as we've seen Stick being picked up even more than ever, I feel like, in these side lanes. But yeah, top, as we mentioned, you know, that's going to be the one that we're watching for all these constant kills. The other ones is just the fun farming. The farm versus farm, the 1v1s.
Does it? Yeah, needs to go for those kills, because on the CS front up top, S4's having the better time in the lane. Now, the Cogs Aramis. He's got the setup on Pexu. Symmetrical's going to try and chase them down. They've got them down. One comes in, they'll get the kill. Also be able to trade into Aqua as well, but his stick charges at the ready. He'll manage to hold his own with the meta.
Good old Death Prophet. Always a potential kill threat lane, especially with something like Clockwork. And that is meta use, so when meta's down, he's also a potential to get chased. Limp, yeah, Limp is crushing it.
I was going to say, it doesn't look like it's getting any easier for Weehaw. This is going to be a slower start. Of course, there's a Kunkka. He's got many ways to catch back up. He'll be able to clear out the jungle quite easily. I haven't seen him obviously get the chance to head back and get any stacks for himself, but highly likely that Alliance will be able to catch back up.
I feel like most of the time when I see this matchup, it's a lot more even. I feel like the Kunkka usually doesn't have, like, he doesn't have 4 denies against himself. So that first wave or two, Limp just really crushed it, and now he's got this big advantage. And now we have runes coming out too. We will see, I believe Weeha's going to go for a stack here on his small camp.
Oh, here it goes. Well, yeah, Stamanen's getting the jungle stacked.
Yep. Oh, he's not going to get the stack, I don't think. Oh,
he does? Yeah, yes. That was close though, yeah. And Stamanen, he's going to be fine. Quick TP out of danger.
Face it, you're a loser. Never!
And Nico Baby is fine on his own when his jug does leave him.
Yeah, he's under no threat from S4.
But we are seeing those denies add up. This is, as we mentioned, versus the DK. Even though he didn't get stunned, actually, which is really interesting on the DK. He's able to get
Bottom.
denies bottom.
That's a bit of a move with the cogs there from Aramis. He trapped them both in. And definitely take down Pexu. And Aqua won't be able to chase out Symmetrical. So he himself has to be a bit careful.
Very nice cogs.
Step lively now.
He's getting the kills and keeping it very close this CS. Only slightly behind across all 3 lanes. Not much in it at all, just a couple of CS here and there.
Surprised how many, like, Nico Baby hasn't gotten. I know Stomanen left the lane, but like I was mentioning, you know, S4, he didn't have stun skilled up until level 4. So usually when you see these DK offlanes, as I was mentioning, the stun is what prevents a lot of those last hits, and they end up having a lot more denies on the DK. But S4 has just had excellent lane control. So 28 and 9 to the 17 and 2. That's quite a disparity.
Your admiral is on
Be interested to see which way we see the stats go, because yeah, Stomanen's been doing a great job of pretty much stacking all the counts at least twice so far. We'll see even Nico Baby with Blade Fury or Weehar with the Tidebringer will be able to clear those up.
Yeah, he's pinging it right. He's like, there's a 3x, you know, maybe Nico Baby's like, hey, I'm not having the best type of farm, but he's probably okay, no worries.
Yeah, he'll catch straight.
He'll catch up. I even have a stacked pull, so now he can reset positioning of the lane, so Nico Baby can farm under tower easier.
Some good stuff from Stomanen.
Yep. Still prepping you. That job. Weehaz might be the one to take it, and maybe even set up for a kill. They saw Hanskin walking in.
Yeah, it should be an easy one if they catch vision of him.
He's gonna make him work for it.
I was gonna say, yeah, Weehar's hunting in the trees. He thinks that he's gone to hide around there, but Hanskin kept moving, so that'll keep Hanskin safe. They won't find him.
And where's the rune gonna be? We see the triple check from Alliance, checking bottom to regen. Generation. And he'll keep it going too.
They've got to make sure that Limp doesn't get his hands on any of these aggressive runes early, otherwise he'll be sweeping across the map looking for action.
Yeah, he can quite easy for the Ember at this point of the game. Ganking the Jug is always a little bit more complicated, but can be done. Probably not the target that Limp wants.
Bounty. Step lively now. Your admiral.
I mean, obviously with this information at Hanskin, he made the move, you would have seen that there's stacks going on. Is there anything Goon Squad can realistically do early with their heroes to try and not allow Alliance to freely farm them, or is Alliance always going to be able to get
fast? I feel like they're just going to clear it right now, and there's no way to get there in time. I mean, the one move they could have done is like if TB goes kind of like jungle and Enchantress moves up there with the Grimstroke and the Ember.
Yeah, you can kind of mess with them.
I don't think they want to move the TB out of bottom just yet. Soon he's going to have to, but
they're going to move over now, but indeed, yeah, with Blade Furies, Nico Baby's already got it covered pretty much.
Still some low creeps. They might be able to snipe.
That bottom lane. Hexer will die, but he is able to set up for a trade here. Aqua cleans up a kill in return. We'll see Goon Squad step up to the high ground, but Weehar's going to respond. Straight away goes towards Hanskin. They've got the combo to bring down Hanskin, but Weehar's taking heavy damage here from S4 as the Elder Dragon former Limp with the final remnant jumps across. So a bit of a trade between the sides, but Goon Squad happier with that move into the jungle. Not quite able to come in early enough to disrupt the farming of Nico Baby, but set up to just lose the support themselves and get that kill onto Alliance's mid, onto Weehar.
All right, well worth it. Great move coming over, slowing down Weehar. They even, I think they took 1 or 2 of the creeps as well. Hanskin's like, okay, I died, but now you know what happens when I die? I TP mid, refill my Ember's bottle. So those type of deaths on these supports are just actually beneficial.
Was the Aramis? He's come over to try and make sure the power in doesn't go into the hands of Limp, but he can't get around for this.
Oh, it gets denied.
That was what, yeah, looks like Hanskin knew that Stomanen was either able to deny it or pick it up himself before Limp could swing over.
Very close.
Oh yeah, good to see Alliance continuing to do this, making sure that power ins are never a freebie here for Limp.
And speaking of freebies, TB, they have to leave the bottom lane, so we know what Death Prophet does to tier 1s. This tower is going to get brought down unbelievably fast. I don't even know, it doesn't look like they're going to be able to rotate for it either. Skin's a bit low, Limp was slightly low on mana too.
Bottom tower is under
yeah, they're not going to be able to contest this though. Look how fast it goes.
Free tower for the DP.
And that's how they have to play. They do want to be setting pace. They want to be taking these early towers versus TB. They can't just let Aqua sit back and farm, so good hit from Alliance. Still, the gold lead has to be like less than like 100 or 200. It's less than 1k.
Super close, yeah.
Super close off of these lanes right now. And the Nico Baby Jug, who had a little bit of a slower start, has fully caught up. And
Yeah, he's going to be fine.
he's going greed as well. He's going the Battle Fury.
All right. I mean, obviously, a little bit of cleave anyway against a TB is it's going to be something extra against the Illusions, but it definitely seen some Jugs in this situation. They would prefer to go for like the Maelstrom, get involved a bit earlier with the rest of their team, trying to like overwhelm the TB with that extra bit of magical burst. But Nico Baby opting to try and match the farm.
To each their own, right? Like Nico Baby's shown a couple.
You know, Nico Baby, he likes to buy like the Radiant still on the Wraith King, right? He'll always opt for whatever he feels is going to get him the biggest, rate or faster than the enemy carry. So this man's come here to hit creeps and carry the game.
And it gives them the just-in-case factor. If they can't end the game at a decent time, then they'll have somebody that's at least farmed enough to maybe stand toe-to-toe versus TB. Or can they actually get the catch here? Or it won't quite get. They get the X.
Even with the bow, I mean, they have the bow and the Omni if they want to. They sort of hold back. I think even in an Omni slash, you're not killing this Dragon Knight.
I think there was probably like, let's go, and one person was probably like, I don't know if it's, it's a 1600 HP DK.
He ain't dying.
You would have had to commit Omni and like pretty much everything and maybe still not even get the kill, so. Good defense there from Alliance. And that's quick, right? They saw Dragon form and they immediately rotated to try to shut it down. So really emphasizing on that early game here with the rotations.
Yeah, we'll see how the farm progresses. Of course, Aqua, he is the lowest on the cores.
But it's to be expected with the lane that he's put up. Even though he has an Enchantress, which is one of the best 5 positions to back you up, you're versus Death Prophet, you're versus Clockwork.
Yeah, probably the biggest thing for him was the fact that he gets out of the laning stage without dying to that duo. He had yet to die yet on the Terrorblade.
I'm surprised he's trying to farm this Ancient stack, though. He's farming Ancient stacks without meta up. He's kind of getting wrecked by it. Aqua's going to have to go back to base. And top now, they only have 2 heroes up here on the side of Goon Squad.
See if they can get the kill this time, Alliance. They've got the Ghost back up, Symmetrical ready to run down S4. Even bringing over Weehaw as well, so there's no escape for S4. Trapped in the trees, Alliance, they'll take him down. And with the Ghosts up, they can grab the creep wave. They should be able to get some damage in onto the tier 1 top as well. So pressure up that pace, making sure they're taking these objectives and taking all attention away from Nico Baby's Jug so he's able to freely farm elsewhere.
I was about to say, I feel like Pexu has to start trying to hit some towers here with his Enchantress. He gets the Dark Troll Summoner, but Alliance very quick to react.
Let's see if Alliance can get a kill out of this, actually. Nico Baby with the Blade Fury, he's chasing out Pexu. He'll commit with the Omni Slash, doesn't want to mess with the pass of the Enchantress. So commits, gets himself the kill, and gets back to farming.
With the pace of the game, I mean, who cares, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
He's able to just go for free Omnis. His team is setting tempo. His top tower.
I'm burning up.
Tower taken out.
Tower, the Lucius Manon again.
Well worth it.
Yeah, this is progression for Alliance.
Yeah, it doesn't get denied. They force another DK form, so they know it's up top. They might even swing some heroes over there just to prevent him from hitting tower. So some solid moves from Alliance so far in this early game. Nico Baby getting absolute free farm. Battle Fury is going to be done any minute now.
That's good timing.
Good timing with Vayne, Wraith Band, with Wand upgraded. It's going to be
if the game continues with this sort of control, he's going to stay quite ahead of Aqua for quite some time here. He's going to need a big change of pace for Goon Squad to open to match the farm and get the space that Nico Baby's getting.
Yeah, the map is going to start shrinking for sure. Like the tower pressure that comes out, look how fast Alliance is to move around. And as we keep mentioning for Goon Squad, they have hitters, but the way that they've been playing around it on the side of Alliance has been very smart. Every single time that they've been there, just